Sexual reproduction in angiosperms involves the transfer of pollen from an anther to a stigma, a process called pollination. In self-compatible flowers, the stigma is receptive to pollen from the same flower. Self-incompatible flowers require pollen from a different plant. In both cases, pollen can be dispersed by living vectors, such as insects, or non-living vectors, such as the wind. In this example, pollen from the anther of one flower is transferred to the stigma of another flower. After the pollen grain lands on a receptive stigma, it germinates, producing a pollen tube. The pollen tube grows down through the tissue of the style. At some point during its journey, the generative cell of the pollen grain divides by mitosis to form two sperm nuclei or male gametes. The pollen tube continues to grow until it reaches the ovary. It then enters an ovule through the micropyle. It ruptures one of the cells next to the egg and discharges the two sperm nuclei. In most plant groups, fertilization is straightforward. One sperm nucleus fuses with the egg to form a diploid zygote. In angiosperms, however, an unusual event called double fertilization takes place. The other sperm nucleus fuses with the two polar nuclei to form a large triploid, 3N cell. The triploid cell resulting from this second fertilization begins a series of mitotic divisions that forms a tissue called the endosperm. The function of the endosperm is to store nutrients.